Hi everyone, happy, wonderful Thursday to you. And on this day, I wish for you moments of peace, ease, and well being for your different kind of happy. As I shared with you yesterday, today marks 4 years since my mom's passing. And I want to share with you two practices that we have in the Vietnamese tradition that I find very helpful to the grieving process. The first is what we actually did today on the day of a person's passing. We have a memorial service where the family comes together, cooks that person's favorite food, offers the energy of the food with incense, with prayer to the deceased, hoping that they receive that energy. And then afterward, the family sits around enjoying that food, and we remember the deceased. In this case, we remembered our mom. We talked about her. Um, we celebrate her life. And my oldest sister actually said that it's hard for her to believe that it's been 4 years since we've seen our mom. And so, in a way, it also holds the space for us to continue to process um, each of our individual grief and our experiences of missing our mom. And this to me is very helpful because first it's like a birthday party, a happy birthday to our mom, not on the day of her birth, but on the day she has passed, so that we're continually remembering her, honoring her in a very formal way, and then, of course, holding the space for each of us to continue to process and to share her life with us. And sometimes stories of the person's past comes up that, others may not know about, and it's, to me, a very beautiful experience. The other practice that we have is in the Vietnamese language. We do not have tense, so we don't ever speak of anyone in the future tense or in the past tense. Everything is spoken of in the present tense. And so after my mom passed away, I became aware of this practice and how valuable it was for me to go through the grieving process, speaking of my mom in the present tense. Of course, in the meditation practice, or in yoga, we're about cultivating presence in the present moment. So when I'm able to speak of my mom in the present tense, it makes her much more real, much more alive, much more present in my awareness. It's as if she has gone on vacation and I'm just speaking about her. Just like, in the English language, if someone has gone on vacation or is just not present when you're talking about them, but still very much alive, we don't speak of that person in the past tense. We only speak of that person in the past tense once that person has passed away. And grief, what makes grief hard is the sense of loss, of course, and this also the sense that you cannot recover the person or the thing that you have lost. But by speaking of the person in the present tense, to me, it makes that person very real, because you can't deny the fact that my mom is still very much alive within me. She has influenced me in so many ways, and she is very much alive. It's just in the physical world that she may not be present, but in every other way, she is very much alive. And so speaking of her in the present tense keeps her, to me, much more alive and much more real in my awareness, in my consciousness, and in how I relate with her. So for your opportunity today, your mindfulness moment opportunity, consider making a small celebration of someone who may have passed in your life, or something. Maybe you've lost something very valuable that you miss now, or a pet that you love dearly who has moved on, and really creating a memorial service where you remember and you celebrate that person and bring that person, that thing, that pet into your awareness and honor and remember them in a celebratory way instead of a sad way or um, trying to forget way that sometimes we do in coping through the grieving process. And the other opportunity you have is maybe begin considering speaking of the disease or the thing that you've lost in present tense. I actually have started doing that, and I know it's grammatically incorrect, But to me, it feels more real, more authentic to be speaking of my mom, my dad in the present tense, because as soon as I speak of them or recall them, they are very much there and very much real in my consciousness and in my experience of them. So go forth, explore, experiment some aspect of these two Vietnamese traditions that I am offering, and may it yield for you a different kind of happy in your life. Thank you so much for watching, and namaste.